Okay, what I'm about to share with you, it's best to leave it to the professionals, but I'm sure you will let you know what are the things that we look for when we are determining if a wall is load bearing or not in your home. If this is something that you're curious about, or perhaps you might even try yourself to figure it out, well, stay tuned. Removing walls to create an open concept is one of the most common things that people ask in a remodeling project. So here I'm gonna show you things that you can look for to find out if you can remove a wall from your house. So for example, on this one, on this house, there was a wall here dividing what's gonna be the kitchen with the living room. And there was also walls over there by the entry dividing the entry with the rest of the house. So we're gonna go to the attic now, and you want to have an idea where this wall is so you can find it on your attic. So we're right now gonna work on, let's say, figuring out if the wall here was a load-bearing wall or not. Let's go to the attic. Okay, once you're in the attic and you made your way closer to the wall that you wanna remove, you wanna figure out what direction the ceiling joists are running, because they start somewhere and end up somewhere. And in this case, these ones are running left to right. They end right here. Currently it's ending on this beam, but before, that's where the wall was. They were sitting on top of the wall, making this a load-bearing wall. Also, for things to look for is if you see these 2x4s going in a diagonal direction, we have plenty of them here in the attic. You can see more right here. You can see these right here. Those are called purlins, and they help hold the weight of the roof rafters, and they are normally sitting also on top of walls. They can be, let's say that you don't have to remove the wall exactly or put a beam where they are, but in the roof you have to provide a support for them. Just like here, like we removed the wall and we sat the purlins on top of the beam. I'm gonna go to another area to show you for other things to look for. Here's another thing to look for. So right here we have where two joists meet, and that's gonna happen through most likely the whole run of a room. And where they meet, they have to sit on top of a wall. You have to dig down to the insulation, and then you find the top plate of the wall that you're looking to remove. So here, these guys are resting on that wall, and if you remove that wall, then they're gonna collapse. So this wall right here is also a load-bearing wall. Here that we have the ceiling open, it helps to show you a little better what are the things that we're looking for. So for example, this ceiling joist right here, it's sitting on top of this wall. Let's say that this is where you start. This wall automatically becomes a load-bearing wall. And then the other end of it is right here on that beam. But let's say that that beam wasn't there. There was a wall before there. It was sitting on top of that wall, thus making that wall a load-bearing. In order to remove those load-bearing walls, we have to do things like what you can see now is to run a beam from one load-bearing wall, which in this case is exterior wall, into another beam or another wall. In this case, we put it on another beam, but this beam is sitting on this load-bearing wall and on that load-bearing wall. And that's how open spaces can be created when remodeling a house. Okay, I hope with this information, you get the courage to do one or two things. Either go up to the attic yourself and figure out if a wall is a load bearing, which I do not recommend, okay? Or two, hire a professional to go and do this for you to make sure that this is done in a safety manner. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned, stay curious, and keep learning. And drop a comment or like or share this video to anybody that might need the help.